Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a little story time of the the way that I became a fitness coach, and basically what led me to want to do this sort of thing. Before I start, a little disclaimer: this is probably going to be quite a long video, so I really hope that I don't bore you. And yeah, that I hope you really enjoy, and that hopefully I really inspire a lot of you guys. So let's get into the video. So we'll start off quite nice and simple. I was born in the December of 2000. And life up until I was about 6 or 7 years old was kind of complicated. I mean, I had 2 younger siblings, and then my parents ended up getting a divorce. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. So life when I was younger was quite difficult. By the way, what I'm doing is actually I'm stroking the dog. She's here. And so life was, yeah, pretty difficult. But you know, it's one of those things you have to deal with. I never really tried to let it affect my life, basically. I just never, you know. Anyway, so as I kind of gradually got older, I faced quite a few more family problems. I'm not going to go into too much detail about, which led me to basically just had no other way of dealing with my stresses. And I say stresses at the age of like 8. Like, they weren't what I'd consider stresses now, but at the time they were stresses. And I had a lot of them, and the only way that I'd ever be able to deal with those types of stresses was to basically eat and eat. Like, that was the only way that I'd ever really overcome any problems. So of course I'd done that, and obviously as a child we've all been there, and we just eat like junk food, just complete junk food. Bags of sweets, bags of chocolate, bags of crisps, you name it, we'll have it. And of course I was a very unhealthy child. So that was everything that I turned to every time I wanted to eat. I also had a habit of eating when I was bored. Now, I was bored like 3/4 of the time, so it probably explains why I also put on weight that way. And yeah, so as you can imagine, years progressed, and with all this like eating and things, I literally put on so much weight. Now, by the time I entered must have been about year 5 or year 6, probably year 6, I gained so much weight that I was bullied, just because, you know, everybody else in the class was of a slim figure and I just wasn't. I was the complete opposite. But I never let that faze me. I still completed my SATs, got over the life worries there and then. And yeah, basically throughout school I was a really well-behaved kid. I'd done a lot of like school productions and things, so I used that as a way to overcome any moments that I was like, oh, okay, like, do you know what I mean, like, this is hard to get through, like, yeah. I was quite a popular kid in school, but I don't feel like it was for the right reasons. Obviously I was bullied a lot, so that way everybody kind of knew me, if that makes sense. Yeah, just, you know. Anyways, year 7 is when all of the problems begin to arise. In the summer before I started year 7, I did lose a little bit of weight, and I thought, oh, okay, like, this is gonna go really well, like, you know, like, I'm actually starting to feel okay. And then just before we went back went to go start year 7, I all of a sudden, I have no idea what happened, but I literally just gained like almost double the amount of weight that I already was. I literally was completely like overweight, like probably even classed as obese, to be fair. And I obviously wasn't happy, but at the same time I had no idea about ways in which I could lose weight or become fitter. I tried everything, such as, like, at the start of year 7 I was one of those kids that literally entered every extracurricular activity that you could possibly think of. Everything, netball, football, I was on the girls' football team, you know, everything that I could possibly think of that was going to be a way to get me fitter. However, obviously, if you want to get fit, you have to do the exercise, and you also have to have a good balanced diet. I didn't have the balanced diet, so we were here a little bit. We were like, diet was holding me down, and yeah, I basically never got anywhere. And so yeah, a few years passed, and I just continued to gain weight, because I couldn't ever do anything. And we'll skip basically to when I was 14, so I was in year 9, I think. Without going into too much personal detail, I went through a few life struggles, and I was like assaulted and things. I'm not going to go into too much about that. So again, my mental health then from there on was just at a low point. Like I just always was really down. Obviously with things like that, you always think like that it's your fault and all of that stuff, and clarify, it's not your fault. No way in any shape or form is it your fault. But maybe I'll do another video about that, story time or whatever, another time. But so from this point on, my mental health was really bad, and I got to a point where I literally just was too scared to get out the house, or I was too scared to do this, or I was too scared to do that. And all I'd do is literally lie in bed. There were points where I'd refuse to even go to school, or it got that bad. However, about a year later, I picked myself back up again. I was all good. Life was in the right direction. And then everything changed again in year 10/year 11. I was bullied quite a bit in year 10. I wasn't a very popular kid in secondary school. Not as much as I was in primary. And I guess that change of popularity just kind of took a toll on me. I was in like all of the higher classes, you know, like I was still the nerdy kid, what people seen as the nerdy kid, but I just never was the prettiest, or there were so many beautiful girls in our year. I was just never one of them, really. And so obviously I never really fit in. When I went to because I went to 3 different secondary schools, so when I went to the very last secondary school that I eventually finished my GCSEs at, I reunited with a lot of people that I went to primary school with, which was really nice, because I moved out of the area quite a bit, so it meant that then I'd leave them, and you know, I just never really got the chance to even see them again. But I reunited with most of them, afterwards, basically. Finished year 11, and yeah, I really wanted to make a change in my appearance, and so for like literally it was 2 months, and it's not a very long time. I started like walking a lot more places. I did go for occasional runs, but like, you know, it's one of those things where like, do I want to go for a run today? Do I not? I still done it, but like I said, it only lasted 2 months. So obviously in those 2 months I started to feel so much better in myself, and then I just stopped. Last year in the August, I went through another similar police situation. I'm not going to talk about that one because it's a little bit more touchy. And then obviously my mental health got a lot worse. In the September after, so the September last year, I joined a dance academy, which I love all of them, like with all of my heart, like genuinely. So that was one of the ways I started to exercise a little bit more. Like, you know, two days a week, we'd have a dance session from 4 till 6. In the summer of that year though, we went to a beach, like me and my sisters and my mum, and you know, and we went to a beach, and I can just remember saying how annoyed that I was that my sisters were able to wear belly tops and shorts and look fabulous whilst at the beach, but I had to cover up because I didn't feel good, because I had these extra bits of like stretch marks and extra bits of fat that I just didn't feel were acceptable at a beach. Now, going to a beach, I see many people wearing, she's sunbathing, wearing you know, things that kind of reveal a bit too much. And obviously those people clearly had a lot more confidence than I did. So I remember the whole day literally feeling on the edge of passing out because I was overheating, because I was wearing so many layers, because I didn't feel comfortable. I just couldn't, I couldn't even think about taking off my shorts, like just lying in my bikini. I couldn't even think about wearing a belly top because it just was unflattering, and I didn't feel comfortable enough to take it all off and let it be revealed, basically. So I remember thinking on that day that I wanted to do something about it, so that when it came to next year, as in this current year, I could hopefully go back to the same beach, and my goal is to go back there and actually be able to wear clothing that not necessarily will reveal me, but I will feel comfortable in. And even if it's just a belly top and some shorts like my sisters were wearing, that is my goal, is to make sure that I feel so much more comfortable so that I can wear those types of clothing, because being chubby in the summer is actually a nightmare, to say the least. I really hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm almost there, I promise. So yeah, so in the September I joined the Motus. We had so many laughs. You know, it's a great way, and exercising really helped my mental health as well. Obviously when you exercise, it releases endorphins and that sort of jazz. And yeah, I guess it just became something very natural then. Like, I enjoyed it. I was thinking about joining a few years beforehand, but I just never had the confidence. Like I said, I was quite big, so I just didn't feel like I fit in with like all of the other members of the group. And even though I knew most of them because they all went to my secondary school, it was kind of like, it was one of those moments where I was just like, I can't do this. I just never plucked up the courage to do it. And then I finally did in September. And I'm still there now, which I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyways, the dance choreographer, I'm not going to mention her name yet because I'm not sure if I can. But the dance choreographer, she is also a coach for Beachbody, and she basically encouraged me. Now, you have to be 18 to become a coach for this online fitness thing, but she encouraged me after my 18th birthday to become one, and I already said that I really wanted to because I'd already seen what they do and the sorts of things that they go through, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the sort of thing that I want to do. I just never got around to it because I was just like, you know, like things would put me off a little bit and whatnot. Anyways, I plucked up the courage. I turned 18 in the December, and as of January the 31st, I applied to become a fitness coach. Now, it was some money that I couldn't afford at first, so I was like, okay, like, let me earn this money. So, because I was that eager to become a coach, I saved the money and I'd done extra hours at work so that it meant that I could become a coach. And I'm very thankful that I did, because since then, since February the 1st, and we are currently on February the 27th, I think, I'm pretty sure it is. Since then, I've pretty much, we're just over 3/4 of a stone that I've lost since the 1st of February. This program has changed my life for the better. Could not be any happier. As a coach, I get to obviously coach other people, including a lot of people that I go to college with or whatever. And as part of this coach thing, we run challenge groups for people of many ages, preferably above 17, just because of the side effects of some of the challenge groups, and things like that. And because of that, where are you going? Where are you going? Because of that sort of thing, most of the challenge groups were actually, as far as I'm concerned, all of the challenge groups are actually free. And we run these challenge groups to help other people and hopefully inspire them so that they can end up joining Beachbody. And so far, I've only been on this Beachbody thing for basically a month. And I've already got a possible 4 or 5 people that want to sign up underneath me. Obviously it's not hard work as such, pardon me, but it's time consuming, you know. As part of this Beachbody thing also you do a lot of fitness like workouts, and you can get them at home, so it means that you don't actually have to go to the gym, or you don't actually have to go for a run, or you can stay inside of the house. You can do it at any point at the time, because obviously if you work 9 till 5, like, you have the time, but it's just finding that time. So yeah, so I mean, the program comes with all these different online fitness workouts, and I love mine so much, and I'm forever thankful for being told about Beachbody and actually having the opportunity to join Beachbody. So now I'm currently, like, obviously I'm not at the weight or at the standard, like, physical and mental state that I wish to be at, but I'm definitely improving, and I'm definitely from like 0% to 95%. I have definitely in this last month felt so much improvement and so much positivity. My mental state is so much better, and you know, I feel better. I am actually able to walk to college and things without feeling tired, or do you know what I mean? And I've also managed to obviously find the time to do my online workouts, and that sort of jazz. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's kind of like the end of my story. There's probably a few more bits to it that I've probably missed out, but if so, just obviously ask me a question in the comments. I will say this whole video I've been squinting because you're currently sat in my windowsill, because it's the only decent lighting in my house. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for bragging on a little bit. We are currently on 17 minutes long. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to share my story to help other guys realise, actually, damn, she's been through some stuff in her life. If she can do it, I can do it. And that's what I want you guys to get out of this video. I'll consider maybe putting in some photos of throughout the years of me at the end. But other than that, I really hope that you've all enjoyed listening to my story. Any questions, comment them down below, and hopefully I'm going to do a I want to do a Q&A with either some of my friends or my boyfriend, and I also want to do a video with possibly some of the Beachbody coaches. That's obviously if they're willing to come in a video. I don't know, that's something I'll have to ask. However, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like, yeah, thumbs up. Any questions, like I said, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys with another video shortly. Bye!